The only thing moving in the race for first place in the West is the finish line, backing up to meet Edmonton, Saskatchewan, or BC. The Eskimos appeared in the best position to finish first, but they have lost in 2 consecutive weeks to the British Columbia Lions. The Saskatchewan Roughriders then had a chance to be the team that finished first. They lost, however, in Hamilton, and then were beaten last week by the Stampeders in Calgary, who today can return the favor to Saskatchewan if they beat Edmonton.
That's a spinoff that is there, and everybody's aware of it, but the main purpose for us today is to play this game, the last game of our season in 88, and to come into 89 with a winning streak of 2.
The Eskimos are first if they win at home. Otherwise, the Saskatchewan Roughriders can be first if they win at home. Otherwise, BC could still be first. Join us as first place in the West is settled today. Calgary had 20 points. If the other 3 finish with 20, BC has first place. But Edmonton can get it with 22 by winning today. Otherwise, Saskatchewan can get it by winning today. In the East, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are hoping for second place. Hamilton could get second with a win today at Toronto, but that's not going to happen. The Argonauts way in front of the Tiger Cats, just like they have been way in front of the East for much of the second half of the season. Good afternoon and welcome to Commonwealth Stadium, Edmonton. As a lot of things will be decided in the CFL today. I'm Dave Hodge with Neil Lumsden. Edmonton has had its chances to finish first, and we'll get another one today. The last 2 weeks ago, the Eskimos have not done it against BC.
No, and everyone points at the quarterback spot with Damon Allen. They've had problems along their offensive line, too. Today, a new man behind the center. It'll be Tracy Ham. Maybe the fire in which he's played this year, throwing the football, running the offense, and maybe more importantly, the way he can take off upfield and pressure the defense. Maybe that'll be the difference.
As you know, the Saskatchewan Roughriders could have been in a position to finish first today by beating Calgary last week. The Stampeders thus are spoilers in one sense and would like to beat the Eskimos again. Meanwhile, Saskatchewan still has hopes of finishing first with some help from Calgary, and Dave Ridgway, starting the game at Taylor Field, set a record with his 53rd field goal of the season. Tom Dixon matched that for the Ottawa Roughriders, who had a single point as well on the opening kickoff. Then Ridgway booted another one, and it was 6-4 Saskatchewan. Then came a touchdown pass, Tom Burgess to Jeff Fairholm, as the Green Riders started to pull away from the Eastern Roughriders, and Ridgway has done it again, a 3rd field goal, his 55th of the season, as he approaches a single-season points record as well. Saskatchewan leads by 12 points, and here the Edmonton Eskimos set. They are the team that has first place in control if they can win it. They'll
Stay tuned for the number to call for your free issue of Consumer
Toronto, and so the Eastern semifinal will be next Sunday in Winnipeg. The Argonauts to await the winner of the Ticats and the Blue Bombers. And right here, the Edmonton Eskimos will try to secure first place in the West and a valuable week off. The Calgary Stampeders will try to do what they have not done yet this season, and that is beat Edmonton. The Stampeders can be reasonably proud of their record against other Western teams. But Edmonton is 3-0 against Calgary. And Neil, you might say this is as big a game as the Eskimos will play prior to the Grey Cup, because not even the most ardent Eskimo supporter would think the Eskimos could get to the Grey Cup from 3rd place. The way they played the last 2 weeks, and they lose today, it's hard to imagine them winning 2 road games in the playoffs.
Well, their road record shows it. The same with the Riders in Saskatchewan. Everyone wants to play at home. Larry Caharich wants to be the spoiler. He thinks his team can do it today.
There is a strong wind blowing, and it would appear, though it swirls quite often, to be at the backs of the Stampeders in the opening quarter. Here is Stephen Jones for Edmonton, taken down right at the 30-yard line.
It's tough to judge the way that wind is blowing. When we first got to the stadium a while ago, there was no real significant wind, but now it's changed. And Tracy Ham, I don't think is worried about that. I think he's just interested and excited about getting a chance to run this offense again and get back into the flow the way he had it going before he got hurt.
Well, run the offense might be the appropriate word. The Eskimos figure to try to run the ball a lot with or without Tracy Ham. And he's certainly capable of adding to the rushing attack. In fact, despite his time on the injured list, he remains the Eskimos' leading rusher. In this game, their leading rusher is Chris Johnstone with a big first down, and That was predictable running play for Edmonton. In Regina, the Saskatchewan Roughriders roll up the score on Ottawa. Saskatchewan trying to keep first place hopes alive as Milson Jones catches a touchdown pass from Tom Burgess. And they are late in the first half, 23-4 Saskatchewan. So for now, they look safe. Another ground play for the Eskimos. Again, Johnstone, and look at the hit from Ken Ford.
Dave, basically the same look as we saw in the first play, which was a sprint draw. This time, Ham hands the ball back behind a pulling guard. Johnstone tries to find some yards, but there, Ken Ford, the active linebacker of the Calgary Stampeders, made some impact in more ways than one on that last play.
Chris Johnstone and Blake Marshall, the starting backs for Edmonton. Chris Skinner not in there. So the only change is not at quarterback. Ham on the run, fires on the run, and a one-handed grab, and a beautiful one by Rick House. Can't do better than that.
Nothing short of spectacular. Tracy Ham getting to the wide side of the field on this patented sprint by the Eskimos. Both running backs, Johnstone and Marshall, up blocking, securing that corner. But watch how Ham has to twist his shoulders, and just a phenomenal catch by House. Super concentration. Even when the ball's on one hand, the head turns to make sure he can secure it.
And he had teammate Marco Sincar to worry about, as well as trying to catch the ball with one hand. Marshall diving as the Eskimos have moved inside the Stampeder 45-yard line.
Down by Ken Ford.
You know, I really believe going into this game with Marshall at fullback and Johnstone at halfback, and I think we'll see Brian Walling go in, when things could change, and I think that the sky shows it, the Eskimos would have the edge.
Well, that wind is going to change. It'll probably gust well up from 20 kilometers at any given time. Quick pass off the line of scrimmage. House again, crawling for the first down. He is a bit short, I think. They have a flag down as well.
Stampeders guilty of offside.
Well, the Eskimos will want to see where the ball is placed.
Offside. Calgary number 24. Second down.
They were short of the first down, so they take the penalty and go second down again.
Greg Peterson up to the line of scrimmage there was caught. He was in the short side of the field. Good read by Tracy Ham. Even though Peterson was offside, Ham recognized the blitz from the halfback.
Second and about 3 from the Calgary 38. Ham gives it to Marshall, and he'll be the point of the first down with great second effort. It looked as though he was ready to go down, and maybe the Stampeders thought he was too. Blake Marshall picked it up, though, by continuing his forward motion.
Brought down by Matt Finley.
One of Marshall's biggest assets, if he can get that big body of his going forward, he keeps his shoulder pads and helmet going upfield. He's very tough to bring down. You can hit him, but you can't stop him.
Eskimos moving the ball. Nice mixture of run and pass into the wind from the opening kickoff. And to Johnstone. He's got 5, maybe 6 yards. He reaches for that 6th one. Trying to get the ball placed at the 29. 2 reasons for Edmonton to run the ball today. I suppose 3, because they feel they can do it well. But the wind is going to make the running game important. And also the fact that the Stampeders have shown themselves to be vulnerable over the season to a strong running game by the opponent. Saskatchewan leading by 19 at the half at home to Ottawa. Marshall, it's not pretty, but he plods for the yards he can get.
Well, that's the great thing about the offense that the Eskimos can run when they get their running backs into the game. It doesn't have to be pretty.
Gain of 3, it'll be third down and 2. The Eskimos, the ball on the Calgary 27.
Jerry Corrick trying to give the Eskimos an early lead with a field goal. It'll be a 34-yard attempt. And the holder is Damon Allen. Corrick gets it up and good. Edmonton 3, and the Stampeders no score. Calgary will get its hands on the ball for the first time when we return. And the Eskimos clearly hoping he can provide a lift. Eric Kramer at the controls for the Stampeders. Faulkner slipped one tackle, but not the second from Stuart Hill. It's a loss for Calgary.
Well, that quick penetration into a slow developing running play, Faulkner faced up very quickly, had no place to go. Thought for a second he might try to pitch it to Kramer, but cooler heads prevailed at that point.
I think you'll be able to judge if the Eskimos are back on track by the play of their defense today. And the first play is a pretty good indication that Edmonton is ready for this one. Long pass, Stacey Dawsey with good speed was in behind the Eskimos, but so was the football.
Larry Kaharich's game plan when he spoke to us today was, we're going to run and screen as normal, but we're going to throw the ball deep 8 to 12 times. If we get plays consecutively, you'll see every fourth play at least go deep.
Eskimos promised to run. They did the first time they had the ball. Stampeders promised to throw it long, and you just saw them try that. Glenn Harper now should get the benefit of the wind of this punt. High snap, and there's a nice high punt sailing up there. Richards fumbled it and fell on it. Had to very fast, or the Stampeders would have been there with good coverage from Ken Ford. So Tom Richards, who admitted to some nerves prior to this game, juggled his punt.
Yeah, it was really strange talking with Tom in the field before. He said a few games ago he was sick during a game. He said the tension has been very prominent through the Eskimos, something I don't think a lot of those players are used to. And I think having guys like Bill Stevenson come back, the veteran players, that could make a big difference.
Ham gives to Johnstone. He tries to get to the 35-yard line. Some changes on offense for the Eskimos, and here's a look at them. Ham at quarterback instead of Allen. Johnstone and Marshall, the starting running backs. Tom Richards and Sinkar with Gizmo, Williams, and Sandusky outside. And this offensive line is a new look to it with Blake Dermott over at right tackle. Bill Stevenson at the left guard. Pierre Verschoval starting right guard.
Last time Blake Dermott started at right tackle was in '86 in the game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
And nothing fancy, but a nice, safe first down pass to Tom Richards.
There has been some shuffling along that offensive line for the Eskimos. A few players a little bit nicked. Tracy Ham, 3 steps, he's looking right to his left. He knows where he wants to go, and if he gets the proper read from the defense, as he did right there, knowing Taylor was off, there was some time before he could come up and put some coverage on Richards.
Already this Edmonton offense looks more consistent than it has in the past few weeks. Stampeders strong defensively. Let's look at their alignment. Pretty good front four. Quincy Williams, Stu Laird at the ends. Mitchell Price and Eugene Beliveau. 3 good linebackers. And the secondary, which has undergone some changes recently, is Darcy Kopp starting at safety. And Greg Peterson moves over to the left halfback.
There's Doug Landry's shoes. They see CFN right on the right ankle. He's got great taste.
And will throw deep. Sandusky was trying to get loose, but never did. Was running stride for stride with 2 Stampeder defenders, and Jim Sandusky, a frustrated Edmonton receiver, just has not been getting as many passes as he usually expects.
Sandusky always receives a lot of attention here. Major's in good coverage. He tries to get Major to bite, but Major's still on the run. Darcy Kopp from his safety position. Nice job of reacting to the football and getting there when the ball got there.
Corrick close to Hank Olisic for the punting lead in the CFL entering today's play. End over end ball, and it'll be out of bounds with no return by Sean Faulkner, who had a big part in Calgary's win over Saskatchewan last week. Corrick is a field goal. That's the only scoring play of the opening quarter. asked Doug Landry of Calgary what he does to prepare for a game, and the first thing he says is, well, I get the cartoon, the crayons out.
He'd have to come to the stadium about 2 hours early to get that started.
You didn't think the Argos would do Hamilton any favors? No, sir. The Tiger Cats will be on the road for the playoffs. Kramer, lots of time to throw it. Ball is juggled and dropped by Larry Willis.
Well, to start off with, the offensive line of the Stampeders are giving Kramer a good opportunity to look downfield, and I think if Willis doesn't come back to that ball, it might have been picked off. I always like watching receivers coming back into the huddle. If they talk to the quarterback, you can bet the one thing they are saying is, I can beat him on this route.
2nd and 10. Stampeders trying to move the ball for the first time. Comes a blitzing linebacker in Kramer's face. He completes the screen, though, to Petros. And Tim Petros dives to the 40. He will be a yard short of the first down.
The close depend on the spot and his forward progress. Larry Caharich said the one tough thing about playing against the Eskimos, especially trying to set up screens, is Danny Bass plays them so well. Petros is reaching for that first down marker. He knows where it is. He came up about a yard short.
Caharich known as a gambling coach, but in this case, I think he wants the advantage of kicking with the wind. It is 3rd and 1, and they could do something off punt formation, but otherwise, Harper will look to boom a punt.
Calgary mixes up their looks on the punt team, too. Sometimes 2 men wide, sometimes a tight formation.
It gives Gizmo a chance to get underway, but the Stampeders don't give him that opportunity. So the battle for field position is clearly with the team going from left to right as you look at your screen. And as we look at the field here at Commonwealth Stadium, the wind blowing in favor of Calgary in this first quarter.
During practice this week, Joe Farragilli said he couldn't watch Tracy Ham. He was throwing the ball so well, and Ham is not noted for his practices. He works very hard, but he doesn't always throw with the same type of technique and finesse as he does in the game. So he looked awfully sharp this week, though.
I have not seen Ham take off and run with the ball yet. Farragilli said he would not be reluctant to do so, as some have suggested Damon Allen is. Doesn't get a chance, though. Ken Ford, very prominent thus far in the game for Calgary, and he gets congratulations from his teammates. Drops Tracy Ham in his tracks.
You know, one of the areas that Joe Farragilli has pointed to and what he thinks the Eskimos' problems have been is effort. He hasn't been getting the effort from all the players. Thus, some of the changes along the offensive line with Bill Stevenson back and Blake Dermott going to right tackle.
Ham throws it high, and the Eskimo fans want a flag thrown on Larry Hogue. The ruling is, though, he was going for the ball just as Henry Williams was.
Larry Hogue had the taste of a good game last week against Saskatchewan, and his coverage is very close right here. As you said, Dave, he's breaking to the football. He wants to pick that ball off. He's awfully close to being on the back of the Gizmo Williams, though.
Cork, whose first punt was short, as you see. The sun shines brightly, and the wind blows strongly. Cork will try to improve on 36 yards. A line drive punt. Decent bounce for Edmonton, especially as Faulkner is not able to return it up the sidelines. So Jerry Cork has a 34-yard field goal, and on the strength of that, the Eskimos lead by 3 points. The Saskatchewan Roughriders will finish no worse than second in the West. If they win this game, and they are leading it handily at halftime now in the third quarter, and Edmonton loses, Saskatchewan can be first, otherwise second. Here are the Stampeders with a first down at their 53-yard line. Nothing doing as the Eskimos play the run well.
Alex Carter from the backside just does everything he's supposed to do in reading a play. Comes across, doesn't see something, breaks down and slides down along the line of scrimmage. Took him right to the ball carrier.
Second down and 9, Calgary. All on their own 54.
maybe a yard for the Stampeders. Here's second down. Kramer, a screen. Wide open, McVeigh down at the 50-yard line of the Eskimos. That's short of a first down. With the wind, the Stampeders finally on Edmonton's side of midfield, but it's taken them almost 12 minutes to be there.
Haven't seen an awful lot of variety in plays. Andy McVeigh often comes in a second down situation where he's a little bit better blocker than Sean Faulkner. Also very effective out of the backfield with good hands, as you saw right there. They came up a little bit short, yard and a half, 2 yards. Mark McLaughlin will attempt a long one, 56 yards.
He's got the longest in the CFL this season of 58. He's got the win with him for this 56-yard attempt. And if successful, would tie the game. The wind gets behind it and makes it good. Well, if we needed evidence that the wind is a factor, it was there.
5 for 5 last week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. You can't say single-handedly he beat them, but he certainly has come along a long way.
McLaughlin's field goal from the 57-yard line is good.
Join me at halftime as we take a look at the Spike Parade for 1988. Some of the celebrations that took place on the field. For example, Tony Champion, 1.5 to a spike from the pike position.
No spikes yet in this game as Blake Marshall carries for 3 yards for the Eskimos.
Blake Marshall with the ball.
Joe Faragelli feels quite comfortable, not only of obviously the running back sets he has in there, but Chris Skinner and Brian Walling backing those two gentlemen up. Brian Walling is considered by Faragelli the best blocker of all 4.
Ham throws an errant pass, intending it for Tom Richards, and it's third down, and Corrick must punt into the wind again.
Well, the one thing Calgary wants to do is obviously pressure the quarterback and make Tracy Ham move around in that pocket, but not enough to make him run. They have to be able to contain him, obviously because of his running ability. And I think if they can continue what you just saw right there, they'll be very happy as a defensive unit.
Punt again, bouncing near the sidelines. There is a chance for a return this time by Tony Dennis. He runs out of space. They'll put him out just ahead of the 45-yard line. So the good field position continues for Calgary, as you would expect, with the wind at their backs and the Eskimos unable to move the ball.
Down by Brian.
Eric Kramer's had his baptism this year. He's been under fire, not really having a chance to absorb the whole playbook, but go from week to week in preparation. And I think this has been good for him. At least Larry Caharich believes it has been. But it also can't hurt to get a training camp under his belt to absorb the whole system and understand their philosophy on offense.
Stampeder first down from the Calgary 47. Kramer fakes a handoff. He can run. Midfield, Kramer lost the ball. Did he get it back? No, sir. The Eskimos, as Eric Kramer reached for that ball, scooped it up and get the first turnover, and a very big one. With 1:12 to go, the Eskimos will at least be able to have the ball for the rest of this first quarter when they are against the wind.
You'll see Kramer go back and get pressure. The fake handoff to Petros. He's forced by Stuart Hill. Game plan all of a sudden changes. Sean Faulkner goes up, throws a good block for him. Kramer cuts inside, but Faulkner spinning around off the block on ruck knocked the ball out from behind. Don Wilson comes up with it.
Ham threw that behind the line of scrimmage to Gizmo Williams, who tugs a Stampeder tackler with him onto Calgary's side of midfield.
Pretty good play by Chris Major on the corner, who lays off Henry Williams on the pass because that was the coverage they were in. Then he had to battle off a block and then made the tackle. That's not easy, huh? Tackling Henry the Gizmo Williams one-on-one, as most people have found out in the CFL.
Short the Stampeder 54. And throws intending it for House. It is too low.
Ham's pass for Rick House goes incomplete.
Well, Tracy Ham just settling in. You can't expect him, and I think you see a smile on his face that everything is going to go right. But the Eskimos certainly would like to solve the problem of who their starting quarterback's going to be, as Stuart Hill, with the help of Dwayne Mandrusiak, the equipment manager, adds some length to his shoes by changing the spikes for better traction.
This will probably be the last play of the first quarter. The Stampeders happy that the Eskimos are punting against the wind. Fielded on the fly by Tony Dennis. He's taken down hard by Larry Ruck, but it's a pretty good return for the Stampeders. At the end of the first quarter, they have the ball in decent shape as they prepare to go against the wind in a tie game.
Introducing Minivac, the amazing miniature cleaning system designed to take on hundreds of chores no ordinary tools can handle. Minivac cleans away dust from camera lenses, computer keyboards, figurines, or stereo equipment. Minivac's powerful motor vacuums away dust and dirt. It comes with 2 wand attachments, 2 ultra-soft brush nozzles, and a reusable vacuum bag. Keep one in the car for cleaning along the dash, steering column, stereo, ashtrays, and seats. Minivac is perfect for removing dust and debris from pictures, models, and those impossible-to-reach crevices. In this special television offer, you get Minivac with all 5 attachments, plus convenient storage case for only $19.95. Here's how to order.
Credit card and COD customers call toll-free 1-800-544-1000 or save COD fees by sending $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Minivac, P.O. Box 121, Plainville, Connecticut, or call 1-800-544-1000.
The Calgary Stampeders, with a 56-yard field goal by Mark McLaughlin, are tied to the Eskimos, who got a 34-yard field goal from Jerry Corrick. That scoring was with Calgary in possession of the wind advantage. Now they have the ball but go against the wind to start the second quarter. Kramer looks downfield and almost had it picked off by Toaster Williams, who sees the opportunity but obviously is happy that he was able to knock the ball down. Second down, Calgary.
Good play by Williams. Realizes he's not going to get close to the quarterback, so watch him move to the right where Kramer's looking. He slides to that way and then just jumps. Good vertical jump. Knocks the ball down. Almost looks like he expected to pick it off.
Here comes an Edmonton blitz. Kramer tries to run away from it. Throws sidelines, and the receiver fell down. They're going to call interference.
But whether that play was designed or not, Kramer had the right play on to get away from the blitz.
Forward pass interference. Edmonton number 24. First down.
And that is the first down of the game for the Stampeders. This is live at Taylor Field, Regina. The Saskatchewan Roughriders doing their part, maintaining their first place hopes with a lead over the Ottawa Roughriders. It is 23-4 in favor of Saskatchewan, and the Rider defense, the Green Rider defense that is, as the Ottawa offense where it wants it. Petros for the ball for the Stampeders inside the 50-yard line.
Calgary can get that running game going. It would certainly help out Eric Kramer's efforts to try to throw the ball downfield, whether it be medium passes or going deep. And that time, Petros simply just got straight upfield. We saw Petros' dad, Nick, at the hotel this morning. Drove down from Calgary to see his son play the last game of 1988.
They need about 4 for a first down. Kramer, sidelines. Catch is made. First down is made. Tony on the coverage, but Jay Christensen hauled it in.
Eric Kramer's pass is complete to Jay Christensen.
Brian Walling walking beside Ken Lowe, receiving some attention, almost like it's that hamstring in the right leg is giving him some problems. Went through a little routine to see exactly how strong it is or how badly it's been pulled.
The first and 10.
Valuable yardage as the Stampeders make it against the wind. First down from the Edmonton 44. play fake. He will run, not for much. Stuart Hill from behind gets Eric Kramer after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, if you're going to decide to run as a quarterback against the Eskimos, especially if you've got Stuart Hill coming around and chasing you, you better turn it on a little bit more quickly, because Stuart Hill will run you down.
Christensen checks in with a play for Kramer. No appreciable gain on that play. Maybe a yard. We'll say 2nd and 9. Kramer threw it behind the intended receiver. It was a very tough catch, and obviously it was not made. Kramer perhaps lucky that the Eskimos weren't there to intercept it.
Now Glenn Harper will have an opportunity, or his first chance. I wouldn't think he'd look at it as an opportunity to punt into the wind. Larry Caharich said before the game, the longer we can stay with the Eskimos, the better it is for us, the better chance we have of winning.
Harper averaged over 50 yards in the first quarter. This one won't go that far, though. At the sidelines, no return. The Eskimos will scrimmage at the 18-yard line. It's tied at 3. The Canadian Football Network will travel to Winnipeg next weekend for the first time this season, incidentally, to cover the Eastern semifinal for you. The Hamilton Tiger Cats at Winnipeg. As a result of today's result in Toronto, the Tiger Cats were clobbered by the Argonauts. Blake Marshall for a couple of yards. Neil, the Eskimos moved the ball pretty well the first time they had it in this game and got a field goal out of it. They haven't moved it since.
No, and some of the credit, I think, has to go to the Stampeders defense. They've tightened up, made some minor adjustments. Now it's time for Joe Farragilli and his coaching staff to adjust the same way. Look for the weak spots.
Marshall didn't gain anything. Here's Tracy Ham in the pocket, over the middle. First down. Rick House, who has been Ham's favorite receiver thus far, brings one in at the 30-yard line.
Throughout this year, we've seen the inside receivers of the Eskimos have individually great games. Richard Sinkar, looks like Rick House might be on the way to his best game of the year. Nice solid pocket. He gets hit by Stoulard afterwards, but he gets a chance to throw the ball with the rhythm and the time that he wants to throw it. Brian Walling still receiving some attention in that right hamstring area. And Blake Dermott down for the Eskimos. We said he started at right tackle. Actually, during the week, he started at left tackle in practice because Hector Potier was out with tendonitis in his ankle. Then Hector got better and he went to his normal spot, which was left guard. And then Joe Farragilli said, look, we need someone to play right tackle for us. You've been our most consistent player this year. Do you mind? And he said, no, what the heck.
But how long he can play at right tackle is questionable because of this injury, as Blake Dermott continues to receive treatment from Ken Lowe. Trevor Bowles will go in at the right tackle spot as Larry Caharich discusses things at the Calgary bench. I asked him, how much do you want to beat Edmonton? And his answer was, as much as anybody could want to beat Edmonton. At Taylor Field, you saw the Saskatchewan defense backing up the Ottawa offense. Well, they can back up further, and when they go back this far, it means points for Saskatchewan. Two of them a safety as Vince Goldsmith takes down Roy DeWalt in the end zone, and Saskatchewan increases its lead. We will continue to show you coverage from Taylor Field as Blake Dermott is still down on the field at Commonwealth Stadium. Tom Burgess taken down by the Rough Riders of Ottawa, who will need a large comeback to spoil things for Saskatchewan, and you wouldn't predict that, but Ottawa trying to hang in there. Here's Blake Dermott coming off the field in Edmonton.
Don't like to see this at the best of times, especially the guy who is considered the best and most consistent offensive lineman for the Eskimos this year. He also does the snaps on the punts and extra points. Pierre Verchevel will back up and is just as good, according to Joe Farragilli and Gary Jurczyk. That's a tough loss right now. We hope it's not serious.
A significant injury at the moment for the Eskimos as Trevor Bowles goes in at right tackle. First down, Edmonton, with the win from the Eskimo 30-yard line. Here's Tracy Ham on the run for 5 yards, or 9, maybe 10, as he is close to a first down.
Tracy Ham will find it a little bit tougher when he gets past that first wave. You see a minor discussion going on between Landry and Ham. When he gets past the pressure of the defensive line, he's going to go into the area that's been controlled by Landry, Ford, and Jeffers. All three of those linebackers are very mobile, and they'll close on you an awful lot faster than most will.
Eskimos probably wouldn't mind if this was short, but they do have the first down. Tip of the ball just touching the 40-yard line as they continue to look at the left knee of Blake Dermott.
It's Dr. Peter Boucher right there with Ken Hull to his right. Really getting a very close examination. And there's his replacement, Trevor Bowles, number 66, right tackle.
By Ham. Handoff is bobbled. Who's got it? Stampeders have recovered an Edmonton fumble. All the more important because the Stampeders are going against the wind. Now Blake Marshall is into it with a Stampeder after the fact.
Marshall and Landry mixing it up there. Marshall pulling Landry off Tracy Ham.
Eskimos protective of their quarterback, as any team would be, but you'll remember the incident against BC where Ham got involved with Jeff Braswell. This CFN telecast is brought to you by Foster's Lager. The fans in Edmonton seem to be in the same state of inertia as the team in green and gold that they're pulling for. Meanwhile, in Regina, the fans at Taylor Field seeing what they want, an apparent victory by Saskatchewan that will keep the Green Riders' first place hopes alive. Faulkner with the ball for the Stampeders, and a good gain for Sean Faulkner to the 25-yard line. Good hard running.
Sean Faulkner, the ball carrier.
Well, Faulkner's shown us great abilities. Most of his running have come on punt returns, and Larry Caharet says if we can translate that or get that style of running, that aggressiveness and that breakaway speed that he has out of the punt returns and put it into him as a running back, he said we have exactly what we want. We just can't seem to get him through.
Fans trying to make some noise for the Eskimos now. Well, the cameraman went with the fake. Kramer went with the pass, and it is caught.
Joe Farragilly has a great deal of respect for Emmanuel Tobert. He had him in Saskatchewan when he was head coach there. Says he's a real tough receiver. And from that respect, he has put Don Wilson on him in a man-to-man situation. This time, Tobert seemed to get the best of Wilson. Wilson had him and seemed to be following him, but when Tobert broke it to the sidelines, he kind of lost track of him.
Needless to say, the fake was pretty good and probably helped the gain by Emmanuel Tobert all the way to the 50-yard line of the Stampeders, who are outscoring the Eskimos 3-0, while Edmonton has the win in the second quarter. Faulkner, good running as Sean Faulkner breaks tackles all the way to the Edmonton 45-yard line.
Sean Faulkner, the ball carrier.
I tell you, that's what you look for. You don't have to be a fullback to have the right type of power and the style of running. You watch him pick up his guard. Watson, good block, kick out. He goes inside and then back up, and he doesn't stop moving his feet. Danny Bass has him, but he's able to wiggle through. No one falls up after Bass makes the hit and puts Faulkner on the ground. That's just great effort.
Faulkner again, big hole. Another first down inside the 35-yard line.
Go with him when he's hot. You need some help from your other running mate, and Petros has been doing it all year. Good block. Hits up in there, kicks out Stuart Hill. Doesn't have to knock him down, but he seals that area where Hill can't collapse down into the line and give Faulkner a shot.
It moves the ball. It eats up time in the second quarter while Larry Kuharit's Stampeders move against the wind. for somebody to hand the ball to, and Petrus and Faulkner had gone elsewhere. Kramer did the smart thing, didn't try to flip the ball, and he'll take his loss. It's a short one.
No, you're right. That would have been a bad decision. Kramer taking a quick look at those plays on the wrist. He knows what he's doing. It's just simply when he goes back to plant, to hand the ball underneath to the running back, he goes down.
Ball on the Eskimo 30.
And that's not because of the turf, because we checked it out before the game, and the field's in great shape.
Kramer to pass on second down. Incomplete as he tried to hit Faulkner.
Kramer's pass, then to Sean Faulkner goes incomplete.
Kramer looks and wonders what went wrong, and we'll take a break. Foster's Lager and the Canadian Football Network are proud to bring you the best of the CFL. The lead mounts for Saskatchewan. Tom Burgess to Jeff Fairholm, the second time they have struck for a touchdown in this game. Fairholm's Shenley candidacy is helped by that catch, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders will beat Ottawa, it would appear, and then wait to see if Calgary can beat Edmonton. And right now the Stampeders are leading the Eskimos. They will punt. Harper line drives it into the wind. Williams lets it bounce once. Here comes Gizmo. Through the sidelines, he got a pretty good hit after he was out of bounds, and the Eskimo fans wonder why no flag was thrown. So presumably does Henry Williams.
It was very close. Henry Williams is going to try to get to the outside. A couple of good blocks. Major, though, takes that corner away, and I would say that's late.
Could have thrown a flag.
And let him go.
They didn't. The Eskimos have the ball at their 17-yard line with less than 3 minutes to go in a second quarter that has been pointless for them. Richards on a screen.
Big Kent Warnock into the line.
Ken Warnock.
Defensive line for the Stampeders. They do some rotating themselves in and out between Gene Belleville and Mitchell Price. Larry Kaharich very impressed with Ken Warnock. Dropped a little bit of weight and said Warnock does a good job of preparing himself, watches extra film when most of the guys have gone home, and that's what he's looking for, that kind of dedication for building of the team for 1989.
6 on the screen pass. Second down and 4. Ham pumps once, throws it deep. Nobody there but a Stampeder. It's picked off. Darcy Kopp, and he's still running with blocking help. The Eskimos and their fans stunned by another turnover as the Calgary Stampeders are in a position to add to a 3-point lead.
Once again, some pushing and shoving. A pretty good job by the referee right there, straightening some things out. Brian Donnelly straightening out a couple of players, settling them down and letting them know who's in charge. That's not a bad way to do it either. That gets their attention. Darcy Kopp at safety spot. He just simply reads. Ham wants to go out quickly. There's no time to throw the football, though, because he's only taken 3 steps. And what a great effort by Kopp, staying in bounds here. Walking that tightrope. Referee's there to make sure he doesn't go out.
Petro shrugs off one tackle and then is hit behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard or 2.
One of the many products from the University of Calgary on the Stampeder team. Gets his chance to start. Greg Peterson moving to the halfback spot. Also very valuable on the special teams and has been all year.
Second down, they wait to put the ball down because of the wind, and now it's from the 25-yard line. Again they run. This is Faulkner to throw it to the end zone. Willis, no good. He can't believe no flag was thrown. Larry Willis was on the ground reaching back. And did they grab his arms as he tried to get to that ball? I don't know if he could have caught it anyway.
He's doing a pretty good job of follow the leader right there. This play has had some success on the ground. What better thing to do than throw it? Just a good job by the defensive secondary, staying with their responsibility. Cliff Toney, and I would say Toney pulled him to the ground.
Sure did.
And Willis tried to come back to the football.
Made sure he couldn't. McLaughlin 2 for 2. This into the wind from a bit further out. Last one was 17 yards. This from 32 yards away, but he's got the strong leg and makes the field goal. And the Calgary Stampeders have scored the only 6 points of this second quarter while they have battled the wind.
The end zone for high school football.
Erica Herich talking with Eric Kramer after that series, suggesting possibly what he isn't seeing or what to look for with some help from the spotters booth.
Just like this, man.
The wind should be an advantage, but on the scoreboard, it's not. The Stampeders had it in the first quarter, and the first quarter ended 3-3. The Eskimos have it in the second quarter, and they are down 9-3. We'll see next week the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the Eastern semifinal. The Canadian Football Network begins with game day at 1 o'clock Eastern time, a preview of the third meeting of the season between the Ticats and the Bombers. Bombers won the other two, and that's why they are hosting the Eastern semifinal and awaiting the winner, the Toronto Argonauts, clearly the best in the East according to the standings. Marshall fields the kickoff, tries to crawl to midfield. A minute and a half left for the Eskimos, and it's very important, I think, that they get some points in this second quarter.
Well, they got the great opportunity right here with the wind behind them and having the ball pretty close to midfield before this drive gets underway. They're coming up with something.
30-yard kickoff, 6-yard return. It'll be first.
Turnovers have hurt the Eskimos in the second period. Ham
Ball on their own 51.
fumbled a handoff. It was recovered and then threw an interception. Ham throws that one on one bounce to Gizmo Williams, and Tracy Ham claps his hands, hoping to inspire some confidence, but there just isn't much of that in the Eskimos right now.
Stuart Hill getting him that tape job on the ankles reinforced over the shoe.
Here's an awfully big play. The Eskimos would like to get a first down or two and be in a position to kick for some points, but that first down is just not easy to get. Got it to the 45-yard line to Richards. Very big play, the way things are going for the Eskimos as they come to the ball now quickly.
Richards, a graduate of the University of Alberta, comes back and gives Tracy Ham a target. And you know, Ham has had great success with Richards all year.
Ham looks downfield, over the middle, and another catch. Or do they rule it a catch? The Stampeders are arguing. Rick House has got it. Doug Landry speaking for the prosecution, but the Eskimos have another first down. Those slot backs, Richards and House, consecutive catches. As you watch Rick House, here's another play. Sidelines incomplete. Sandusky was the intended receiver.
Hey, Sinkar, watch the halfback blitz.
Joe Farragilli alerting the offense. Marco Sinkar, when he gets in, the huddle will alert the people that are responsible to pick up a halfback blitz.
Still over a minute to go as Crazy George tries to inspire the fans. The Eskimos clearly haven't. Ham on the run, fumbled the ball. A third turnover will deny the Eskimos points. Stu Laird picks it up.
Joe Farragilli and everyone in this stadium are shaking their heads. They just can't figure out what's going wrong. 2 weeks in a row dominated by a very powerful BC Lions football team. And this time, it's just simply shooting yourself in the foot. Tracy Ham doesn't see what he wants. And just as he's ready to cut back on Quincy Williams, the ball not being tucked away pops away from him. Stu Laird comes up with the loose ball.
Eskimos are going to have some time in the dressing room and then 30 minutes of football to figure this out, and I dare say their season's over if they can't. Now Kramer drops the ball, but things are going a little better for him. He recovered it.
Well, the Eskimos are using a bit of rotation. You saw Brett Williams on the sidelines. They're trying to... John Mandrich is back now.
We never quit. Never quit. I got you.
Stu Laird is proof positive that if you keep working as he has in his game this season, you just get better and better.
Clock continues to move after the last play. Maybe that's a blessing for the Stampeders that Kramer didn't throw it, because an incompletion would have stopped the clock. Now it does. Steve Benjamin on Stacey Dawsey as Kramer gets up. Clock stopped, 37 seconds left.
Kramer pulling the side out of his face mask. Takes a pretty good shot. He had time last time but dropped it. This time once again, John Mandrich, in his first game back after surgery on his right arm, introduces Kramer to the natural turf.
Harper will be inside his 10-yard line when he gets the snap. Gizmo Williams and Tom Richards awaiting the Calgary punt. Out of bounds it goes on Edmonton's side of midfield. Under the circumstances, pretty good for Harper. Kramer
Out of bounds
appeared to have hurt his hand, holding his right hand, as you can see.
Their own 53.
You have to wonder if Tracy Ham can't get things going. Will Damon Allen start to warm his body up in preparation for a second half? Something he was very successful at last year, coming in as the 1A quarterback for the Eskimos.
Eskimos would like to at least give Jerry Corrick a field goal try with a wind. Ham doesn't see anything he likes yet. Throws over the middle. Wide open Sinkar. And that's field goal territory for the Eskimos, with still 21 seconds showing on the clock.
Marco Sinkar keeps working downfield as Tracy Ham receives outstanding protection. Now, this is what you call a pocket. And when he does move, he keeps the ball out. Look at him. He's looking downfield. He picks up Marco Sinkar coming through the back door, wide open.
Lots of time for Ham. Wide open. The catch is made. Again, no, they say no this time. The Stampeders argued once before and didn't win. This time, Sinkar did not make the catch, according to the officials.
That call comes from behind the play. The official behind Marco Sinkar, he must have seen the ball come through. Joe Ferraghelli doesn't agree with him.
Can this be right? The Stampeders have called timeout? 13 seconds on the clock, and the Stampeders have apparently called timeout.
Well, that's Wally Bono right there with the headset on beside Lerica Harch.
Ottawa Roughriders in the fourth quarter at Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan Roughriders ready to take first place for an hour or so anyway, and maybe for the entire season. Mike Greenfield is the quarterback for Ottawa. You see what happens to his pass. Let's see what happens now to a big second down play for Edmonton. 13 seconds left. Ham into the end zone. Touchdown! Gizmo Williams.
You know, sometimes one play can be the difference in a football game in respect to generating some enthusiasm and production. And Gizmo Williams gets to the inside of Larry Hogue. And if you're trailing Gizmo Williams going into the end zone, this is what you're going to see, probably. The Eskimos started this game with a bang by moving the football, and they have finished the first half with exactly the way they started it.
First half isn't over, mind you. 9 seconds remaining, but the Edmonton Eskimos at this point will take a 1-point lead to the dressing room, and it certainly doesn't reflect the way this game has been played.
Tracy Ham realizes the middle is going to be open, so that's why Henry Williams gets an opportunity to come across. No one within 2 yards of him. And that's the time he needed. to get the ball to that man right there, Henry Williams.
Three Edmonton turnovers in this second quarter have kept the Eskimos pinned back in their own zone for much of it. But in the final minute, on almost the final play, the Eskimos strike for the game's first touchdown, and so they lead 10-9.
I would think as a Stampeder that would be a little bit discouraging. How he moved the ball fairly well against the wind. And all of a sudden, but that shows you, Larry Caharet said it before the game, these Eskimos are the champions.
First kickoff returned by Faulkner. Sean Faulkner still on his feet with a second remaining on the clock. So the Stampeders will get one play
Sean Faulkner returning the kickoff
to end this first half.
down by Mark Connor.
Well, for a fellow that was simply a specialist last year in respect to returning punts and kickoffs, Henry Williams, under the tutelage of Brian Kelly, and this year being helped by Mike Faragelli, has turned into a pretty good receiver. A receiver that can turn a small play into a big one and create big ones.
Well, the Stampeders say, what the heck? They will throw it up. Knocked down as Wilson was there with Willis, also Stanley Blair on the coverage for the Edmonton Eskimos. Doesn't seem to matter much at Taylor Field late in the fourth quarter, but the Ottawa Rough Riders have scored their first touchdown. As you see, the man who has just got Edmonton's first touchdown, that gives the Eskimos the lead. A touchdown won't help Ottawa, though. In the fourth quarter at Taylor Field in Regina, it is Saskatchewan 32, and the Ottawa Rough Riders now have 11, as Mike Greenfield will hit Remy Watson. But this game will soon be over, and it'll soon be a victory for Saskatchewan, and then they will sit in Regina and watch this game, watching from Edmonton, and hope that Calgary can come back to win. Stampeders led for much of the second quarter. Gizmo Williams gets a rest. He was taken down hard. The fans thought illegally. Stephen Jones in the game for Henry Williams. Ham is knocked down, and the Stampeders celebrate more pressure on the Edmonton quarterback.
Pretty good rush by the Stampeders getting to Ham before he really gets a chance to be settled. Left side. It's going to come in hard. Mitchell Price, number 74. That big left arm of his was just enough to knock Ham forward and stumble down.
Problems experienced by Damon Allen are not unlike those that Tracy Ham is having today. Allen was described as tentative. You could say the same about Ham. Bullet pass is caught as Gizmo is back in the game and on the move. Taken down. They'll rule him out at the Calgary 46-yard line. And where does that rate on your spike parade?
Well, it only went up about 25 yards in the air. If it isn't for Lamont Jeffers, 95, after this play gets going, Williams is going to score. Tracy Ham, you're right. Maybe it is tentative, or maybe it's his maturity, having him come to the line of scrimmage and knowing he can get the ball downfield more effectively if he throws it and gets it in the hands of a guy like Henry Williams.
Eskimos run inside the 45. Well, if not for Gizmo Williams, the Eskimos would really be in trouble. Not that they aren't anyway, but he's made some of the biggest plays for this Edmonton offense today.
You always have to have someone to look to on your offense when it's explosive. And for many years, it was throw the ball to Brian Kelly, double coverage, triple coverage. He was going to get it anyways. I think Henry Williams is establishing himself as that type of receiver, a big play in a big game type of receiver.
Ball's at the Calgary 44-yard line. They must go to the 37 for a first down. Ham throws it just as he's hit. Receiver goes down. I don't think he'd ever have caught that pass, but they are going to rule interference. Rick House went down as he went after the pass. I don't think it was catchable by House.
Well, it wasn't. If it is interference, so the flag is, that's crazy. Because that ball was 12 to 15 yards over his head. Clearly, the officials are going to discuss it before they make a ruling.
It won't be popular if they say no penalty.
There's no infraction on the play. The ball was uncatchable.
Well, you're right. That won't be very popular here at Commonwealth Stadium, but that's a very wise move. You're going to see what the talk was all about. Tracy Ham releases it, goes deep. You see the contact. There is where the flag took place. Peterson, number 24, and Rick House, but you can see it was well overthrown. It's Calgary ball, and this is the shot Tracy Ham takes. Backside blitz by the halfback, Derek Taylor.
Another turnover, more problems for the Eskimos, who are down by 6. The ball in the hands of the Stampeders now. Kramer, he goes down as these fans are simply angry, and now the Eskimo players are trying to get the fans on their side. That's Brian Warren leading some cheers as they put Kramer down.
Well, Don Southern's defense seems to be confusing Eric Kramer, because when he gets plenty of time, and this last play was designed to get him outside and give him even more time, he can't find a receiver. That secondary is hanging tight with those receivers, doing a good job in coverage.
Kramer throws it. The ball is caught by Christensen. He is down and, of course, well short of a first down. The Stampeders will punt with 5:35 remaining. That's the time left with the win for the Stampeders. I think the Eskimos, if they can stay within a touchdown of Calgary, might be happy to go to the fourth quarter this way, but of course that's not guaranteed with 5.5 minutes left.
I'm talking about the wind. I think it has subsided a little bit. Not an awful lot, but a little bit. And I think in that last punt by Cork into the wind proved that if you can get it going in a nice spiral, you can make some yardage even though you're punting it into the wind.
Not a good one by Harper. Richards wisely comes up, takes it on the fly, tries to get outside. Tom Richards is taken down, but Harper could have been a better punt that time. Foster's Lager and the Canadian Football Network are proud to bring you as we watch third quarter play in Edmonton. We want to pause for a minute and think ahead a week to the Eastern semifinal between Hamilton and Winnipeg. Mike Riley, the Blue Bombers coach, is with us. Happy to know that he'll be at home next week as a result of Hamilton's loss today, 49-9 to Toronto. The bad news is, Mike, if you win next week, you're going to play those Argonauts.
That's for sure, David. They are a very good football team, and you know, they proved it again today. They have a great record and definitely deserve to be the champions in the East in the regular season. Now we got to see what happens.
Mike, even when you were in the flight, you had a kind of a neat way of watching how the game was going, thanks to your general manager.
That's right. Cal brought his little TV along, and we kept as close a track as we could. We couldn't always tune into it, but you know, we were able to get the scores from time to time.
You played in Vancouver last night without your first-string quarterback. I guess we can call him that now. Sean Salisbury, is he going to be okay for next week?
He's going to be fine. I think that you know, the week off was the thing that he needed. There was a chance that if he took another hit, he'd start right back where he was with the rib. So, you know, we felt like we would like to have him play, but at the same time, why get him hurt in the ball game, not be able to play last night and then miss next week too. So we ensured that, and our other two quarterbacks did a pretty good job. Our biggest problem last night was stopping BC's offense.
Tell me, do you think they're a threat in the Western playoffs? I guess I'm begging the answer.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, it's going to take a good football team to beat them if they play like they did last night. They are on a roll, and, of course, they've been on a roll for a little while. You know, of course, Matt's going to town out there and, you know, doing a great job. And the running game plus David Williams, they've got a lot of weapons. Their defense is playing well. Their special teams are up. So it's going to take a good football team to beat them.
We look forward to watching your football team next week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tracy Ham has just run here for an important first down for the Edmonton Eskimos as we settle first place in the West today. Congratulations on finishing second in the East, Mike.
We're looking forward to the game, David. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Okay, make sure the weather's good, too.
No
Thanks,
promises
Mike.
there.
Eskimos continue the march. Flags come down. Stampeders appeared to be offside unless drawn so.
Maybe we should also mention that next week in Winnipeg we'll be joined by Tommy Larscheid and Bob Irving. So we'll have the whole cast.
Well, Eskimo fans might want us to talk to Mike Riley all day long, because while we were on the phone, the Eskimos have been moving the ball, as you've been able to see. We remind you, 1 o'clock is our pregame show, CFN Game Day from Winnipeg. And the game at 1:30 Eastern Time, Bombers hosting the Hamilton Ticats. Penalty was indeed against Calgary. First down, 5 from the 31 of the Stampeders. Marshall just falling forward after trying to direct some blockers. He didn't need too much for the first down. He's got most of it.
Well, he did it behind Verschoval and Trevor Bowles, and of course Trevor Bowles in because Blake Dermott is out, and the report is he has a sprained knee. The ligaments in the knee are sprained. We have no way of knowing how long he would be out. We hope it's not a serious sprain, at least for the offensive line of the Eskimos. And Blake.
Now under 3 minutes remaining, third quarter. Eskimos second and short yardage. Marshall again, and he blasts for the first down. That moves the sticks. It moves the clock. And it gets the Eskimos closer to what would be a very big touchdown if they could score one here in the third period.
Pretty good way to describe it. They blast through there. You see Derek Taylor, 21, had a pretty clean shot at him, but he just pushed him aside like he wasn't even there.
Well done.
From the Calgary 23, first down Eskimos. And will throw on first down, a screen to Marshall. Lowered the shoulder and the head. He's out at the 17-yard line.
And number 21, Derek Taylor, again, he gets a pretty good pop by Marshall. I don't think he's going to go around anytime he sees number 22 in green. Just drop that shoulder and pop that forearm head. It's the only way to run the football.
Lamont Jeffers was the lucky guy. He was trailing Marshall on the play and wound up making the tackle because of the hit that Marshall put.
Number 91.
They have a penalty against Calgary, which we could not discern immediately, and that'll make things even better for the Eskimos.
Well, I think the Stampeders, the one thing they're going to have to do is keep their cool. Don't take silly penalties like roughing the passer or offside, because they can't beat the Eskimos in this situation by doing stupid things, cheap shots, and things like that.
From field level, this play, first and goal from the 9-yard line. We watch from above as they give it to Marshall again at the 5. He is inside the 5 to the 2-yard line.
Well, that's a great angle to see exactly what goes on. Led by Chris Johnstone, the first block. Marshall cuts back inside behind Stevenson and Conop, and then just keeps twisting and fighting. That's the effort that Joe Faragelli said they didn't have. You do anything you can to get the play and whatever you're doing accomplished.
In this situation at the other end, the Stampeders through second and goal from the 2. I think the Eskimos will run. They do with Marshall, and he doesn't get over. Good stand on the defense by the Stampeders. He might have gained a yard, but he'll be lucky if they give him that.
That was the defense's turn right here to stuff it right back at the Eskimos. Kent Warnock. Quincy Williams gets in there, gets good protection. You see 41 Ford, Matt Finley, Peterson, just a whole whack of them.
Tip of the ball at the 1-yard line. It's third down. Ham with 3 backs in behind him. Marshall, he did not get over. Blake Marshall is stopped. What a stand by the Stampeders. 2 cracks from 2 yards out with big bruising Blake Marshall. And the Eskimos are denied a touchdown.
Watch, the hit comes from the outside. Marshall's legs get taken out. And strangely enough, it's 21, Derek Taylor. He gets some revenge right here. Takes Marshall's momentum away from him. He had taking the leg strength and the power away. What a super stand by the Stampeders.
You can hear the cheering from Saskatchewan from here. But remember, there is only 36 seconds left in this third quarter, and look where the Stampeders are at their 1-yard line.
Derek Taylor was the Stampeders Rookie of the Year this year, voted on a couple of weeks ago. Received a trip to Vegas, a trophy, some money, and a pie in the face after practice.
Kramer is going to throw it from his end zone deep. This is Dawsey, and it is incomplete. Good defense on Stacey Dawsey by Stanley Blair.
Really was great position by Stanley Blair. Dawsey is supposed to have blinding speed, and he does. To Benjamin to stay inside and time his jump perfectly is something Larry Kaharich didn't want to see.
The incompletion stops the clock, and we mentioned the time remaining in the third quarter because of the possible punt by the Stampeders. They'll want to kick it before the third quarter ends if they must give it up. Pass on first down, they'll pass on second down. Flag goes down. If it's against the Eskimos, the Stampeders have themselves a very important first down, but as you see, the news is not that good for Calgary and all those rooters in Saskatchewan.
Holding, Calgary 63.
And now, unless they want to punt on second down, they're going to have to punt into the wind in the fourth quarter.
Interesting call on the offensive line, holding on 63. There is no 63 on the offensive line, so it must be someone close to that.
Second down repeated. Here are the Stampeders trying to move those sticks. Kramer throws it up. It is caught inbounds by Larry Willis. It is inbounds. It's a catch as the third quarter ends. The Stampeders still have the ball at their 30-yard line.
Once again, Kramer going deep down the sidelines. First time to Dawsey, this time to Willis.
No, it's a bad call. He was on the sideline when he caught the ball. And Joe Faragalli is mad again, and this time with reason. The Stampeders have the lead and the football. If you were making a case for instant replay, you'd use the last play of the third quarter. And as we start the fourth quarter, remember that play, because it might be as big as any in this game. The Stampeders get 30 yards out of it and possession of the ball. Otherwise, they'd have been punting from deep in their end zone. Screen pass, Faulkner. He goes for another first down past the 40-yard line.
Kaharich was wondering if they could execute screens against the Eskimo defense because of Danny Bass's ability to read the keys. Follow Bass. He's going straight back in the middle of your screen. He reacts before the ball's even thrown. But he doesn't get in on this play as well because of a good block by Mike Palumbo, the center, who came out and pushed him out of position.
First down, Stampeders. They're 41. Faulkner again. The Stampeders are running the ball with authority and with success.
Faulkner's making a pretty good read here. He's going to have Craig Watson out front, the right guard pull. Now he has to read whether this guy is kicked out or logged in. Perfect job of blocking by Watson. Turns the man inside, and Faulkner's just off his tail and gets upfield.
Just shy of the 49-yard line. We'll call it second down and 2. Kramer will throw. No good, and that's a strange call. Second down 2 with good running, and they try to throw a pass for a couple of yards. Well, it wasn't going to make that even if Christensen had caught it.
Baffles me. I wondered why they didn't run when they were close to the goal line and they threw. Of course, you're talking to an old running back, so.
Stamps could always fake, of course, but Harper does punt it. Bouncing out of bounds. Gizmo Williams can only watch it go that way. This CFN telecast is brought to you by Foster's Lager. Regular season is over in the East. The Toronto Argonauts finished 10 points clear of Winnipeg and Hamilton, and the Bombers finished second as a result of their 2 regular season victories over the Tiger Cats, and so Winnipeg will host the Eastern semifinal next week. Here's the Eskimos from their 31. Ham, a short one over the middle of Marshall. He fights for 3 or 4 extra yards. Taken down at the 38.
Brought down by Quincy Williams.
Doug Landry moving in and getting first contact. Interesting story about Doug Landry when he first started playing football in the Pop Warner League. He was an offensive player. And in the first game, he took a couple of good hits. Right after that, he took his equipment off and went home because he didn't like the contact. How things change.
Eskimos second down. They need 3, maybe almost 4 yards. Here's Marshall. He is close, but I don't believe has the first down.
Marshall with the ball. Brought down by Doug Landry.
And what do the Eskimos do now?
Well, you'd have to think Joe Farraghelli's thinking about that short yardage situation, but a few moments ago down the goal line, where they didn't successfully put it through from the 1-yard line. Will that affect his decision now?
Apparently not. It looks as though they're going to gamble. Third down, almost a full yard to go. And if they wanted to punt, they could punt with the wind. So this a very big call. Ham should probably keep it himself. He does. Pretty good stand by the Stampeders. It's one of those decisions for the officials as to where they put the ball.
Number 95, Dan Kearns, who's a defensive lineman who comes in the short yardage situations, was very quick to point it's a first down. But unfortunately, he doesn't make the decision.
And nobody else has been quick to point that out. They're going to wait for this measurement.
And there are certainly some interested onlookers.
It's that close, but they do have it.
It'll be first and 10. Edmonton, the ball on their own 41.
You guys are absolutely terrible.
Now the question is he talking about the officials or his Eskimos?
No, he's not talking about his Eskimos. Kenny Ford was one of the other reasons there was a lot of attention around the football. He was down, and Pat Clayton, the athletic therapist there on the right, had to come out and make sure he was all right. Ford, what I think has been a great acquisition for the Stampeders from Hamilton this year. He's made a big difference in their defense.
Well, now that they got the first down that they had to work so hard to get, they've got to do something with it. Over the middle of Johnstone, and he's near midfield with another Edmonton first down.
Tracy Ham taking advantage of his running backs coming out. Their first responsibility is to see and pick up any blitz. You see both running backs check, then find a seam and just meander out and find a spot where no one's around, and that's what Johnstone does. Marshall did the same thing on the other side. The linebackers are going to drop deep. Take advantage of that yardage they'll give you.
Some momentum has now been established by this Edmonton offense. First down from the Edmonton 54. Ham throws it deep. Williams running underneath it. He has got it. Gizmo Williams, the big man for the Eskimos today. If they finish first, number 2 is the reason they haven't finished second or third.
Well, we talked about effort earlier on, and Joe Farraghelli was curious about some of his players, but I don't think you can ever point a finger at Henry Williams and his effort. Good job of picking up the blitz. Matt Finley coming in late. That's the reason Tracy M has the time to throw, and throw it he did perfectly.
He has scored the Edmonton touchdown. He has put the Eskimos in position to score more points. First down from the Calgary 12. And again over the middle. Is it caught? No. Jim Sandusky going low for the pass. Had it been better thrown, I think it was a touchdown.
Sandusky had position on the man in the secondary. He had the position in front, so all he had to do was get the ball up a bit. Ham, I think, doing the right thing, throwing the ball low, but just a little bit too low.
We watch from field level. Second down from the 12-yard line. Ham standing, looking, throwing into the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Get
over. Of course, he can't catch it unless Tracy Ham can get it to him. Good job of protecting, giving a pocket again, and Ham just gets that break on Larry Hogue to the inside.
He's been a one-man show for the Edmonton offense. Corrick for the lead, and Edmonton has it by a point. With 10 minutes and 2 seconds remaining, the Eskimos have a 1-point lead and the win. The rest.
Hey, how are you? Sorry that I'm not at home. But when I get the message on my telephone, you'll be the first one on my list.
Crazy Calls, a tape of 7 different songs and funny recordings for answering machines.
I am very sorry that I'm not at home to take your call.
Only $14.95.
When I will get right back to you. Leave your message at the tone.
Give someone the gift of gab for their answering machine.
Calling a friend. What you've actually done is bought a one-way ticket to the answering machine zone.
Nobody's home. Nobody's home. I'm glad you called, but I'm not home. But I'll be back before too long. You gotta
Crazy Calls, a tape of 7 different songs and funny recordings for only $14.95.
Wait for the beat. You gotta leave your name. You gotta leave your number.
To order?
Wait for the beat.
Call 1-800-554-9000. Call 1-800-554-9000.
Linebacker Ken Ford, very much a force on defense for Calgary, says he'll be back. He's got ice on the right knee, and so that's one more problem for the Stampeders, apart from the fact that they are now trailing. Corrick looking to get as much distance as he can on the kickoff. Faulkner on the return. John Faulkner's done a big job today for the Stampeders this way, and also running and catching the ball out of the backfield. But there's the guy who is the star of the show thus far.
He is the star, but he can't shine unless he gets help from his friends, and there are 5 of them on the offensive line. A couple of backs thrown in there for support, and Tracy Ham gets the ball in there. He underthrew Sandusky, but that was not underthrown. Lots of zip on the ball. Good body position by Ham to throw it to. Stepping forward. Lots of time and good follow-through.
Stampeders from their 45. Kramer fakes the handoff, throws it out in the flat, wide open. That's Willis. On Don Wilson, he gets some help. And the help comes from Brian Warren, and out of bounds goes Willis.
That smile kind of tells you everything. Damon Allen just to the left there with the helmet on. Took Ham a while to get going. He sputtered a little bit, but I think he's found his stride right now. Eric Kramer wants to find the same.
The gain was about 7.5 yards for Eric Kramer to Larry Willis. Now, the last time they were in this situation, they threw, and they'll throw again. And complete this one to Willis once more.
Edmonton defense. Deep drops. Again, Danny Bass, number 30. A little bit of a juggle when the ball snapped. Gets a good drop and good movement to the football. Willis catches that ball about 12 yards downfield. It's one of the reasons Bass is up for his Schenley. He can stuff the run, but he has great quickness going backwards.
Good catch by Willis. He had to reach behind him to bring it in, and he was moving pretty fast. Here's Kramer looking to avoid the blitz. He throws it. It is caught. Close to a first down by Tolbert.
The Eskimos in many situations on defense when they run up against a team that sprints brings the middle linebacker late, and they did that time with Danny Bass. Number 67, Rudy Phillips, made a heck of a block on him and gave Kramer time to throw the ball to Tolbert.
This is a fine recovery by the Calgary offense. Stampeders have fallen behind, but look how they bounced back. First down, or second down rather, about a yard to go from the 35. Petros strung out along the line of scrimmage. He didn't get it. Kramer wants to go. Here's the guy who'll make the decision.
Watch the snap. Watch the snap.
The field goal kicker is on. The Eskimos say beware the fake.
And the snap count change up. Maybe the offensive line will go from a 2 points to a 3-point stance to get the Eskimo defense to jump. and that jump would give them a first down.
It'll be a 42-yard attempt into the wind by McLaughlin. They got a piece of the ball, I think. Williams comes up to meet it. He has no blocking help, and he'll get out as far as the 13-14-yard line. Partially blocked, I think. And the Eskimos have the ball and still have the lead. Turnovers have really hurt the Eskimos, but Gizmo Williams has really helped them with 2 touchdown catches, part of 119 yards through the air. The biggest turnover, of course, the one on downs when the Eskimos couldn't get in from 2 yards away and 2 cracks by Blake Marshall. But they have the lead just the same, and now the ball from their 14-yard line. Ham has no receiver yet. Flag holding against Edmonton is the likely call. Ham is down, and the ball's still in his possession. The danger when he's holding it and blindsided like that is that he fumbles it. He didn't. Holding against Edmonton. There's referee Dave Ewell's call.
You know, we talked to Stu Laird last week about the problems he had earlier on in the season with a couple of bad hands, but he has done a great job of accelerating right through the season. You see, he's well out of the play, but just strictly his hustle gets him into the play and makes a good one. You can just feel the crowd move to their feet trying to say, look behind you.
Because of the sack, the Stampeders decide they do not want the penalty. Could have moved the Eskimos back 8 more yards, but they want 2nd down and 12 instead. Ham on the run, throws it over the middle. The official's call is crucial, and it appears to be a catch.
Rick House started the day off with a spectacular one-handed spin catch, and he's had to go down very low on a number of others. Tracy Ham straight back. You see that back pedal out, gives him a good view of what's going on. Bill Stevenson, good job of getting the defender past Ham unmolested, and then Rick House does the rest.
Big first down to the 25-yard line. The Eskimos would like to chew up yardage and time on the clock. This is one way of doing it if they can run the ball.
One of the strong points for the Stampeders all this year has been their defense. Coach Q feels they could be a dominating force as we see an old Stampeder in a different color. Rick Warman charting the plays for the Oilers. He is their 3rd quarterback.
Gain was 5 to the 30. It's 2nd down and 5. We're under 6 minutes to go. Ham again having trouble finding a receiver. He throws it over the middle. It's picked off. Larry Hogue with another turnover, and this may be the biggest of all.
You see the discussed Joe Farragelli. Tracy Ham gets out of that pocket, and maybe a little bit too soon, because from the backside, the left of your screen, Greg Peterson comes in on a blitz, was picked up by an offensive lineman. So the pocket was not going to collapse. Larry Hogue just trailing the Gizmo Williams and reading the quarterback. Great defensive play.
Big chance for the Stampeders now. They're down a point. They give the ball to Faulkner. He's running around and losing yardage in the backfield. Toaster, Williams, Stu Hill all over there. You know, 4 of the 6 Edmonton turnovers, Neil, have come while the Eskimos have had the wind. And that's 4 punts they don't have a chance to kick with that.
And take advantage of the field position. That's right. As you saw in the last play, it's the Eskimos' defense turn. They have some fun. They knocked them out of field goal range right there on that play by Brett Williams. Kramer has to get some of it back if they want a shot at it.
Fans as loud as they've been all day now, except for the Gizmo touchdowns as Kramer throws it. It is caught for a first down by Larry Willis.
The big man all year along with Emmanuel Tolbert, Larry Willis. But watch how this ball just goes over the outstretched fingers of number 38, Brian Warren at linebacker. Look at this. See how deep he is? That's a tough throw.
Now it's the Stampeders who could use a running game. Get closer for a field goal. It might be able to win it. They're going to throw it, though. Up and incomplete over everybody's head. Blair and Tolbert in the corner.
I am a little bit surprised they've abandoned the running game, though the last time they tried it, Williams threw them back. But do those quick hitters to Faulkner with Petros leading up in there. Play barked in by Larry Kaharich, who normally lets Kramer call most of his own plays.
They'd like the touchdown, but the field goal would put them in front. Under 4 minutes to go. Kramer to throw again. Far too deep, and he made sure that that ball was not going to be intercepted. A wiser move than Tracy Ham's last pass. You can say that at least for Eric Kramer, because now comes Mark McLaughlin for another try and a field goal.
Willis is going to go release. Kramer's forcing it into the end zone. Willis comes into that zone area. You can see the defenders back off, and he just says all you had to do was throw it to the middle. The backs were also open.
The wind should not be a problem for McLaughlin. He's right in the middle of the post. 30 yards, and the Eskimos don't touch it. He should be able to make it. Low snap. Ball is up. It is good. And the Calgary Stampeders, 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining, are leading by 2 points.
A pressure kick for young Mark McLaughlin, who came through, as I said earlier, with 5 out of 5 last week, and today he has responded well again. And I'd say that's a pressure kick. Might not have been the last few seconds of a game, but it meant an awful lot.
All you need is a score. That's all you got.
And there is lots of time.
Hold,
you're right.
Way to hold. Way to hold.
Easy to philosophize and say that another one of those will win it for the Eskimos. But a little tougher to get that and make that happen for Edmonton today and the last couple of weeks.
Well, McLaughlin's strong leg will help on this kickoff. It's again into the wind. The Eskimos will all be up a little bit further, so they should get good field position. And of course, they've got a couple of great ones back there. You're looking at one of them, Henry Williams, and on the other side is Stefan Jones.
Jerry Cork has never had a bigger field goal than the one that captured last year's Grey Cup game, but he might be called on to boot one almost as important as that if the Eskimos can get it into position. They bounce the kickoff. Jones reaches for it at his 30. Stephen Jones won't go very far to the 37-yard line, so the Stampeders' decision to kick that ball low worked pretty well. Here's what happened earlier today before we concentrate on the finish of this one. The Argos, way in front of the East, made sure Hamilton finished third and not second. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders are in first place now, and they'll stay there if this score remains like that. 19-17 Stampeders. Here are the Eskimos under 3 minutes to go. And looks downfield. He is tackled in the backfield, and a big play by Stu Laird.
Again, it's nothing but sheer hustle as Mark McLaughlin puts his coat on and wondering if he'll get a chance to spread the lead out anymore.
Foster's Lager and the Canadian Football Network proud to bring you the best of the CFL. 2nd and 15 for the Edmonton Eskimos inside their 35-yard line. Tracy Ham looks again, steps up. He needs a lot of yards. He's got the ability to make them. What a big run by Tracy Ham.
A huge effort by Ham, taking advantage of the pocket, opening up in the middle, not allowing the defenders along the defensive line to slide in and close it in. You just watch his athletic ability take him upfield. He's not looking downfield now. That ball's partially tucked. He's a running back right now.
All the way to the 52-yard line for the biggest first down of the game as far as the Eskimos are concerned at this moment. Flag goes down. Screen pass is thrown. This is Johnstone. He is hit hard as he is into Calgary territory.
Hey, your third.
Landry also in on the tackle.
Stampeders were offside, and the Eskimos will no doubt take the penalty.
Offside, Calgary, first down repeated.
Following this game, the Foster's Lager most valuable player will be chosen. And right now there are more than a few candidates, and it is obviously too early to pick somebody. 1st and 5. Eskimos in Calgary territory. Down by 2 points. Ham to run. He's close to a first down.
I'm wondering at this point if Tracy Ham has been relatively consistent in his cadence throughout the game, if he'll start to change it up. Try to pull Calgary offside. Or will they just get position to give Jerry Corrick a chance to kick the field goal?
Well, McLaughlin made one from 56 yards earlier in the game. So really, from here on in, the Eskimos are in field goal range. They'd obviously like to make it as short a try as possible for Corrick. And will get the first down. And I guess if Edmonton had its plan, it would use up most of the time on the clock, so the Stampeders didn't get another try.
You bet. And after seeing Corrick on the sidelines a minute ago with that smile on his face, he's looking forward to it. And so he should be. Just to the right there of Joe Faragelli. Smiling on the outside, but I'm sure there's a little bit of butterflies inside churning around.
Still at this rate, it's a 54-yard field goal. So let's see if the Eskimos can get closer. They do with Johnstone to the 40 and maybe reaching for the 39.
This is time for everyone to sit on their hands, especially the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Simple sprint draw. He's going to cut back in behind Stevenson. Landry beats the block and gets a first shot at Johnstone.
2nd and 3. It's a 47-yard field goal if they have to kick it from here. With a strong wind. Stampeders appear to jump. Marshall doesn't get much, but maybe surging ahead. He is close to that first down.
Well, this could be the 6th offside for the Stampeders, and none more important than this one. And maybe, in fact, they have changed the snap count. Tracy Ham using that to his advantage, drawing them offside.
Offside. Calgary, number 94. First down.
That's a first down at the 35-yard line. So the field goal gets shorter as the Eskimos move closer. What do you think about trying one long one to Gisborne?
Sure, what the heck.
He's been beating Larry Hogue twice for touchdowns. We've got a makeable field goal of 42 yards, even if you don't move another yard downfield. He is going to throw it, but not to Williams. Jim Sandusky.
Well, you could see when Ham came up to the line of scrimmage, he checked off from the original play. And keeping everyone calm. Settle down, we can do it, he says. Sandusky drives and then just comes back into that area.
Well, I think now the Eskimos run it twice, position the ball, and kick the field goal. There's the first run. Johnstone gets a few yards. Every little bit helps and goes toward the left hash marks. Now they'll probably come back and run it the other way and then ask this man to come in and win it for them. 50 seconds remaining. Ball at the 20-yard line. Larry Kuharich hasn't beaten Edmonton this season. Was close the last time. Is close this time. But close may not be enough. Clock ticks down. Ham to Marshall. He makes sure he holds on to the ball. And now you're going to see Jerry Corrick with 28 seconds to go. And a field goal that he should, if all goes well, be able to make.
Remember, Blake Dermott is out, who normally snaps on extra points, field goals, and punts. Pierre Verschavel is in. So all has to go well to get a good kick.
Very important point. Prior to a 25-yard field goal, we will keep quiet and let the pictures tell the story.
smooth kick. Jerry Cork's been in the position before. You got to thank your holder, but a big thank you has to go to the rookie who wears number 54, who snapped the ball to him. You're doggone right. It can't start without a snap.
He won last year's Grey Cup, and he has given the Edmonton Eskimos a shot at this year's Grey Cup. I think they had no shot if they'd lost this game. From third place, they would never have got back there. Kramer has it picked off, and now the celebration can be official. The Edmonton Eskimos finish first in the CFL West thanks to Jerry Cork's game-winning field goal.
They kept their cool when they had to. You wouldn't say the Eskimos played a great football game, far from that. But what they did is when it came down to it and they were given a shot, they won it.
Well, they've got first place, which means they've got 2 weeks to get better, and I think Joe Faragelli knows that that must happen. To beat either Saskatchewan or the BC Lions, the Eskimos are going to have to be better than they've been in the last month. It was dramatic and exciting, and the Eskimos win first place.